Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. We now have Kenneth Okonkwo joining us on the program tonight to give perspectives on a variety of issues which have made headlines in the last few days. Kenneth Okonkwo is a chieftain of the Labour Party. He was a spokesperson for the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi during the 2023 general election and is currently on the legal counsel of the joint team of the Labour Party and its candidate against the All Progressive Congress and President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Election Petition Court, sitting in the Court of Appeal here in Abuja. Mr. Kenneth, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much.
The last time we had you was ahead of the election.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in.
Exactly. We had a very good time with you all that, and I hope we enjoyed the conversation again.
By the grace of God.
Yes. So many things within the last few days, but I think we should start with what's happening today. Is it the closing of Nigeria as a whole by the Labour? What is your take on the ongoing protests all over the country?
Well, you know, when people are left with no option, they would have to breathe. They were the ones who said, let the poor breathe.
Yeah, they said it, yeah.
Good.
It's like the slogan of the new government.
Good. So when people are choked and they're about to die, they will fight to breathe. In Nigeria, it has become a fight for survival. People are no longer even talking about progression.
It's not about luxury.
They are talking about survival. You can imagine where the poor are being mocked, even with the gavel. If you are in support that the poor should breathe, say aye.
You are referring to the Senate president. But
well,
his team came out and said that he was actually trying to emphasize that Nigerians deserve to breathe.
Good. They are breathing in the street because they can no longer breathe in their homes. There is no more food to eat. There is no more transport to take them to their workplace. There is no more social life. This regime has destroyed the political fabric.
You're a lawyer. Is it really a regime or government? Because we refer to military dictatorship as regime.
Yeah, any system that is in power, it's a regime.
Okay.
So government, you still have military government.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely the same thing.
Okay.
But the regime refers to the people that are in authority. That's why you can say, and it's the same thing with government.
Yeah, it's just nomenclature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but this regime has, with their policy, succeeding another terrible regime, all from the same party. They have destroyed the economic system of this country. They have ruined it. They have destroyed the political fabrics. The social well-being of Nigeria has been radically destroyed. And our political economy is practically non-existent. To the point that when Nigeria talks, even in international community, they will tell us, sit down. That if you cannot bring a legitimate government in power, what power do you have to tell another government that it is illegitimate? It has come to the level where Nigeria is now a mockery in the international community. And the saddest part is that it is a country that God has so blessed with the human and material resources that should make it a superpower nation rather than the poverty headquarters of the world. This is a leadership problem, and unfortunately, it is getting worse.
But Kenneth, do you think is the way to go? This protest we are seeing now, Lagos, Kano, Oyo, Abuja. In fact, they brought out the gate of the National Assembly today. The protesters.
The only thing that evil needs to be perpetuated is for the good people to keep quiet.
Okay.
If you don't say I am, nobody will say thou art. When this government came in, the first thing they uttered was an illegal outburst. Fuel subsidy is gone.
How illegal? I keep saying, of course,
yes,
you are a lawyer. How
yes.
illegal? The president has the powers
no.
to do that. Is it simply because what he said was not in the speech prepared for him?
No.
Okay.
There was already an existing law that said that fuel subsidy should go by the end of June.
Okay.
So you have no right to come to make a determination on your own or a speech that goes against that law. Simple. It's an appropriation by the National Assembly. It's an existing law.
And nobody is asking of where that money meant for to cover June is.
Good. That is why I'm telling you. So it started with illegality. And as you can see, when the people accepted that fuel subsidy should be removed, because
and the president was praised, I think, that day.
Good. Because they kept quiet, doing nothing. Within 2 months, the price that was already excruciating was increased by almost 100 naira. We are now buying fuel for 617 naira.
Yeah.
Why the increase? Let me tell you.
Okay.
In that speech, you heard this regime saying they've made a saving of 1 trillion naira.
Yes.
That is not true.
How? How do you know?
The 1 trillion naira is simply the extortion of Nigerians through the NNPC. You make savings from the excess of the profit you make when you're doing business, which you now save for the rainy day. What are they producing? What are they selling? The oil is imported 100%. So what happened is that the cost of their incompetence and dishonesty is now transferred to the Nigerian people to bear.
Oh, sad.
So that's why you're paying 617 naira. And the money they are making from it is what they are calling savings. Sorry, it is not savings. Because the exact amount of money that has always been shipped out of Nigeria for the betterment of the countries abroad, to build their refineries abroad, to give employment to the people abroad, in the name of importation of fuel, is still the exact amount of money that is going out, because you're still importing 100% of your fuel. The only difference is that it is now the poor Nigerians that are being extorted to make the 1 trillion naira.
Do you think the president is aware of this? Because he was the one who said 1 trillion naira, and he was giving figures.
Good.
That was why
the figures he gave
Nigerians,
has nothing to do with the 1 trillion naira. It is sharing the borrowed $800 million.
Now I'm referring to savings he claimed of 1
That's
trillion
what I've
naira.
told you, that it is not savings. It's the extortion they made from Nigerian people who are now the one paying for their incompetence and dishonesty. Because there is nothing new they are producing. They are importing the oil 100%, and they are now billing the Nigerian people to take all the bill from their incompetence and dishonesty. Why do I say dishonesty? You have 4 refineries lying waste from 1999.
Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna.
If you had repaired it, there wouldn't have been any need for subsidy in the first place. So Nigerians are paying for the corruption which the president said that a few powerful Nigerians have become so rich, they have amassed wealth so much that they have become a serious threat to the fairness of our economy and to the integrity of our democratic governance. That is absolutely correct.
Okay, but are you on the same page with him that very few people are really getting rich?
Who is that rich, powerful person?
Okay, who is that powerful, rich person?
As far as I'm concerned, the president is the leader of them.
But he just came on board 2 months ago.
He was in power and in the corridors of power from 1999.
He has disputed that not once, not twice. He says since he left office in 2007, he never collected contract of 1 naira. He never held any political office.
Now, let's put it this way.
All right.
When a leader of a ruling political party tells you he has not held any political office in Nigeria, is he being honest? What is the most powerful political office you can hold? If not to be the leader of a political party. And he transcended to be the leader of the country. And he's still telling you he has not held any political office.
So you mean he's been economical with the truth?
He is in charge. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. And yet he has not held any political
And Buhari
office.
has not disputed this.
And he has not held any political office. He has been in charge of APC from 2015 till date. Whatever has happened in Nigeria, he should take absolute responsibility. If you are the one who single-handedly made somebody president, are you not part of his problem? And you inherited from him. Now, let's move into the main issue.
Yeah.
In that speech, a few powerful rich people are responsible for our problem.
As he said.
Good. You're one of the richest. You're one of the most powerful. Is
It's
that
an
not
allegation?
No.
Saying he's one of the richest.
He said he has never collected any contract from government.
Exactly.
Yet, he ran a presidential campaign. And you're saying he's not rich? Alpha Beta collects the whole revenue of Lagos State. He was the governor of Lagos State. And it's not in doubt that he has been installing all the leadership in Lagos State to date. Since 1999. And you know what he said?
No.
He said that those few powerful rich people have become so powerful that they have become a threat to the fairness of the economy.
Is that just rhetorical?
If a single human being is collecting all the revenues of a state, is that not being unfair to the economy of that state? Lagos is the richest state in Nigeria, has the highest IGR, yet is the most indebted state in Nigeria. How do you reconcile that? I'm just trying to say that he is now the president of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Good. You know what happened in our last election? Where INEC itself confessed that they had a glitch only in the presidential election, meaning the integrity of our democratic governance is being threatened by these few powerful people. And yet he is the beneficiary of the democratic governance, which is questioned and which integrity is doubted by the whole world.
Okay.
The gentleman President Yar'Adua said that the process that brought him to power is flawed.
Yeah, he was the only president who did that, and we will go deep into the election tribunal in the course of the conversation. But I want us
this president has already confessed to it also.
All right.
Unfortunately, he did not notice it in the speech that was written for him, because he said the few powerful rich people are now affecting the integrity of our democratic
And you are saying he's part of that?
No, he is the beneficiary
of that
democratic governance whose integrity is being questioned worldwide, and which he has accepted that it is the few powerful rich people that are destroying the integrity of our election by his own speech.
Okay, I will come to that deeply, but I want us to dissect this speech. Do you think his last speech 2 days ago was responsible for what we witnessed today? Is it that it's not really inspiring, or he didn't resolve the problem? He has promised 3,000 vehicles. He has promised hundreds of billions into agriculture, into manufacturing and all that. Why do you think Nigerians, led by Labour, which is actually part of your political party?
Led by Labour Union.
Labour Union, but Labour Union is also part of a Labour Party, I think.
No, I don't have a problem. You said it's not Labour Party that's leading it. The leadership of Labour Party.
Yeah, that is it.
But Labour Union.
So is it that they don't trust what he said in the speech, or there is no substance in what he said?
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why did he have to remove subsidy before making promises?
He said he has to do that in order to
Promises
stop.
are not actions.
You know, all other presidents could not do
promises.
that. You know, Buhari could not do that.
No.
To some extent. Jonathan could not do that. We've been enjoying subsidy since 1977. You know, some said even earlier.
Good.
And he said he took the bull by the horn. And that was why he said, even though it was out of his speech, but he went all out and said, subsidy is gone.
Good. If subsidy is gone, if you are a wise leader that have the interest of the people in your heart, the palliatives, the conditions in the economy that should sustain the removal of subsidy ought to be there before you remove subsidy.
So it's like he set the cart before the horse.
This is a man that talks before he thinks. And that is terrible.
Wow.
In his last speech, all you heard were promises. No action. 2 months into your regime. And all you are still making promises. There is no power on earth that can compel a president to fulfill his promise.
Wow.
So there was nothing in that speech except an exposition of a transactional leader who is making empty promises of sharing money when actually he ought to be building the economy. There was nothing in that speech that talked about fixing our refineries. Whatever you may want to do, as long as you're importing fuel 100%, all you're going to do as far as the economy is concerned is waste. Now, you say you're removing subsidy. Now, you're extorting 1 trillion naira from Nigerian people. And you say you are sharing it again. And it will go through that same corrupt rich class. So, you extort the 1 trillion from them. You still give it back to the rich class to give the poor. And it will never get to them. If all the money that Buhari said he shared to Nigerian people, if all reached Nigerian people, they won't be talking about poverty today. Wow. Because I heard they were sharing almost 500 billion naira.
Yeah, so monthly. They said, yeah, through one of the ministries, yeah.
Now, yet 133 point something 3 million persons are suffering multidimensional poverty. And the first policy this president made, World Bank immediately said, you are going to send 7.1 million more Nigerians into poverty.
But they were the ones actually pushing for the removal of the subsidy. Don't you think they are also talking from both sides of their mouth?
They are not.
International community.
They are not. It's a shame that a country that has oil flowing like river cannot refine their oil to have self-sufficiency and to export to other countries. Let me say this clearly.
Yeah.
There is nothing magical about strong currency. Strong currency is predicated on strong economy. And strong economy presupposes an industrial productive base and a steady export market. There is nothing that you can do if you don't have
strong economy.
Yes, strong productive base. You cannot have a steady export market.
So how far
and your currency will never
how far
improve.
do you think this protest will go? And if you are to advise the government, what will you tell them to do immediately?
You know, the truth is that, like I told you, this is renewed hopelessness.
Not renewed hope.
The only thing I will advise this government to do, to stop this gradual descent into anarchy, is for the leader to resign.
Wow, you are calling for Tinubu to resign.
What else? I'll give you the reason. Liz Truss in Britain,
yes,
the prime minister that came before Sunak, she made promises based on certain policies.
Yeah.
She came in, implemented the policies. The economy was being ruined. Pound was being threatened. She saw it. Within 45 days, she resigned. Now, this government, the constitution said you should form a cabinet within 60 days.
Yes.
Within 60 days, they could not even form a cabinet.
No, he did, on the eve, he submitted names.
Not on the eve, on the 60th day. First and foremost, that is already a breach of the law, because they did not say you should submit in the 60th day. They should say within 60 days you would have formed the cabinet. So you would have factored in even the screening process, because government is one, not three.
So are you now saying that what he did is a nullity?
Saying that what he did is illegal, unconstitutional. I might not use the word nullity.
Yeah.
Because as a lawyer, government cannot operate in a vacuum.
Okay.
Yes, but what he did is illegal and unconstitutional, and it goes to the roots of his competence, his capacity and character as a leader. Now, you said he met the 60 days. How come they are saying they are releasing another batch of nominees today? Is today still within 60 days? The Constitution said every state should have a minister, and you must do it within 60 days.
So the Constitution didn't make provision for piecemeal submission?
Not at all. Within 60 days, you would have formed your cabinet. Let me be very honest with you.
Okay.
When they made that law, I didn't know that a president who said his lifelong ambition is to be president, a president who said he will hit the ground running from the first day, a president who will remove fuel subsidy illegally from the first day, could not raise a cabinet within 60 days.
What, how do you mean? You think you expected him to do it
within 24 hours?
How? Why?
Oh, the 60 days they gave to you was not for the industrious, capable leaders. It is for the lazy leaders who are not capable. That's the 60 days grace. Why am I saying that? You have almost 3 months from the time you were declared a winner to prepare for your cabinet. Election was held when? 25th of February.
Yeah.
The winner was declared 1st of March. How many months to May 29? March, April, May, almost 3 months. March 1st. So March, April, May 29, 3 months. So you already have 90 days. So you were not expected to spend 24 hours when you are a diligent president whose house is burning to raise a cabinet. And
so
then
you think
it took another 2 months.
Assuming we don't
that is 5 months.
Yeah. Assuming we don't have the constitution prohibition, what do you think will happen? Do you think he will have done the minister?
In 1 year, we wouldn't have had the cabinet.
Sure?
He had to break the law and still had no cabinet. In 1 year, we wouldn't have had a cabinet. Thank God for that law. I didn't know it would ever be used again. I thought it was a law to tell Nigerians that they rejected everything about the leadership style of Buhari. I didn't know it was still going to protect Nigerians from incompetent and dishonest leadership as we are having now. 5 months.
That's an uppercut.
But 5 months after being declared president, 5 months, you that is ready to hit the ground running, you couldn't raise a cabinet.
What do you think is responsible?
Incompetence. Dishonesty.
But I've never heard anyone
searching
saying
for political...
Tinubu is incompetent, going by his...
I am saying it now, and it's staring you in the face. You met oil, 185 naira. Within 2 months, it's 617. Is that an eloquent speech for competence? You met exchange rate, 490, being bogus, because it might just be 450 official. Now it's about 800. Is that an eloquent speech on your competence? And now Nigerians cannot even go to work. They cannot afford the transport. Yet the minimum wage is still there, the same. I spent almost 50,000 naira to fill up the tank of my vehicle.
SUV.
I don't want to mention it.
Yeah.
But you're still paying people 30,000. And you say you're making promise. 5 months after you're declared president, you're making promise. Why didn't you make promise to remove the fuel subsidy and leave the subsidy until these things are in place? Why is it that when you need to punish Nigerians, it doesn't exist in promises? You now know how to act. But when you need to make the palliatives, is existing in promises. This is manipulative dictatorship. That is how they operate.
Another uppercut there. I wish
you can contradict me. The fact I am late.
Yes,
they are facts.
So
please contradict me if I am telling a lie.
You see, the law is that there must be government. And
I agree with you.
Government must take tough decisions.
That is
and this
correct.
is what Tinubu is actually doing, or looks like he's doing. Yeah.
The superabundance of every performance is detrimental to its performer.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. When you go to the hospital and you're sick, they will give you medication and they will advise you on dosage. In the morning, please take one. In the afternoon, take one. In the night, take one. Some foolish people might come in and say, I want this sickness to go immediately. If I take all these three at the same time, it will heal me immediately. And then they will take the three and take it at the same time, and it will go into them and become poisonous and kill them. Because that is why you have dosage. A wise man coming into Nigeria, seeing the depths of the problems we have, should apply the economic solutions in dosages so that you do not kill the subject matter before healing it.
So what we're having in Nigeria is an overkill.
Overdose.
Oh.
You are giving medication to a man who is hungry, and the doctor will tell you, eat before you take this medicine. And you're telling them, take this medicine on empty stomach.
Before you eat.
You know what it will do?
No.
It will kill them. And not only that, you are telling them to take the medication on empty stomach, you're giving them overdose.
Anyway, since Nigerians are still breathing, no matter how small it is, do you think this set of ministers will change the tide?
You cannot.
You smile.
Oh, yes, because you cannot be doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Tell me, apart from 1, 2, 3 persons, tell me the people dead that we are not there from 1999.
Do you expect him to go to heaven or hell to bring new set of faces?
We have 200 million persons, and you're recycling about 40-something persons. And you need to go to heaven or hell when you have 200 million persons. I am sorry.
You look angry. Is it that you're not satisfied with the selection?
You just said I smiled. I am incapable of being angry.
Okay, explain how you feel. Yeah.
My face is reflecting renewed hopelessness.
Wow.
I cannot be angry because the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, by our own religion, he said, by warring, what solution can you bring? I am really distressed that when you give these people even the solution, they will not listen. Now, look at APC since they came in. The basic economic solution in a corrupt system is don't commercialize any public business enterprise in a corrupt society like ours without first of all privatizing it.
Yeah.
But APC is continually commercializing public business enterprises without privatizing it. Look at what happened to the Nigerian Airways. Look at what happened to Nigerian Shipping Line.
The military area.
I'm just giving you an example. Look at what happened to Nitel. Look at what happened. Now, they want to resuscitate. And they say Nigerian Air. They spend billions. And they had to borrow planes from Ethiopian Airlines to come and demonstrate. Now, they have commercialized NNPC without privatizing it. You know what happened?
No.
Good. The same corrupt leaders that you have placed there will use NNPC to be sponsoring their over-bloated bureaucracy, which they will use their family members, their cronies and picadillos to fill up. And then they are not afraid to make loss because the loss is going to be borne by taxpayers. So there will be no consequences for their dishonesty incompetence and corruption. Now, when you privatize this, the private owners will be scared of making loss because there is even legal consequence of your being bankrupt.
Yeah.
When you privatize it, it becomes their family asset, which they will not want to freeze away. I can tell you that Dangote does not employ his own younger brothers to manage his technologically driven enterprise if they are not qualified, because he knows he will bear the loss. Nigerian government could not repair the refineries for almost 30 years. Dangote is trying to build a new one that they are saying is the largest
in the world,
within 5 years or 4. Why didn't he use his own brothers to build? Why didn't he give the contract to his own brothers? All the refineries they want to repair, not build. They are giving it to their cronies, and they are eating the money and running away with it. So when I say fix the refinery, I'm not talking about commercializing a public enterprise. I'm talking about if you must sell them, sell them. Let them start working. Obasanjo did that.
Yeah, Eradua
reversed it. Now, having reversed it, what happened? It was Dangote that would have bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
By now, they would have been working. Dangote has built his own. Yet, those refineries that he reversed, they've spent billions after that. Yet they cannot repair it.
But most likely Tinubu will privatize them now by the time they complete.
You know what I was expecting him to talk on the first day of his speech?
No.
That there will be state police, that there will be restructuring, that there will be true federalism, and that these refineries will be fixed. These are building structures. Did you hear any of them? Before they came in, the Lagos
Yes, he has been speaking on economy, because if you get the economy right, the tendency is that he will address insecurity, he will address all the losses.
On the economy, he has been destroying the economy. What has he spoken about the economy? You can help me.
First subsidy, of the subsidy
is gone.
And the World Bank supported that.
No, they didn't support that. You put 7-point-something million of your people into poverty. The World Bank warned there has to be safety nets. Otherwise, 7-point-something million persons will go into poverty.
Okay, do you think the National Assembly will help him come back to the path and get it right?
Like I told you, the first and the best solution would have been that he resigns.
You are still insisting that he should resign. If he resigns, don't you think we will be in trouble in Nigeria?
No.
Who will take over from him?
No.
Is it because you are from Labour Party?
Hold on. It will send a message to the world.
Yeah. Or you want maybe the vice president should take over from him?
Immediately, Liz Truss resigned. You know what happened?
No.
Pounds bounced back without any policy from the next minister.
They practice parliamentary system. We practice presidential system. Kenneth, you are a lawyer.
Good. That's what I'm saying. That's not the point.
Okay. What is the point?
Good. The point is that a leader that comes into a system and is overwhelmed by the system and has no solution in sight. I said 60 days after he came into power, he's making promises. Then what did you make when you were campaigning to come to power?
But don't you think that if it were
there were promises you made when you were campaigning?
Yeah.
When you come to power, what you expected to do is to start implementing.
And this is exactly what he did. He promised to remove fuel subsidy. And your candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, also promised that he will remove subsidy. Atiku promised that he will remove
subsidy. I had told you, and I said it in a different medium.
Yes.
That before you remove subsidy, you must make sure that the supply of the fuel is saturating the system and there will be no monopoly. Now he removed subsidy and they have a monopolist. Now the monopolist, like I told you, being a public enterprise, and they've told you the government is not going to subsidize you. So he will now have to tax Nigerians the much that will make him to feed his over-bloated bureaucracy, that will make him to show he's making profit, and that will make him to even make a loss, and he would not be afraid of it. That's what's going on in NNPC.
What do you think your candidate will have done if he were the one that won the election?
My cabinet already told you that he anchored his campaign on shifting emphasis from consumption to production.
How can he do that? Because there is no money to do that shifting without addressing the cancer, which is the fuel subsidy, as they all define it. They all define, subsidy as a cancer.
Let me tell you, first and foremost, there is money in Nigeria.
Where is it, Kenneth?
You will not see it. Because you're saying as if before oil came to Nigeria, we were not existing. Agriculture, Netherlands,
untapped resources,
made more than $100 and something billion in agriculture in a year. Look at the whole land of the north. My principal said he's going to convert it to the next oil and gold. Look at gold in Zamfara. Look at lithium in Nasarawa.
So what you are
everywhere.
Saying, so what you are saying, he wouldn't have removed the subsidy on the first day of his
My principal would have ensured that there is production of oil. That look at Dangote, his refinery is almost through, and yet you're thinking about giving him importation license. You want to encourage it. Immediately he discovered that importing will be cheaper than producing. There will be no incentive for that refinery to start working immediately.
Meaning Nigerians will continue to pay through their nurses.
Good. They told us Dangote refinery will come into force before Buhari leaves power. And Buhari even went to commission it. What is keeping it? My principal would have gone to Dangote, a humble man as you know him. What is keeping this from coming into play? Please, Nigeria needs it. It is better to invest in such project and let it start immediately than you're giving people licenses and even himself to import.
All right, Kenneth.
My principal would have shifted this emphasis. What are they doing? They are sharing money, nothing else. My principal has said it, he would never borrow to share.
Yeah, allegedly. Now, let's move to the tribunal. You close your cases. You are one of the counsels for the Labour Party and your candidate, Peter Obi. What are your expectations that you have closed your case without being subject, of course?
Well, the only thing I'm going to tell you is what transpired in the court.
Yeah.
The prospects will be left for the judges. We have made our case, which is based on non-qualification of Tinubu and Shetima due to double nomination of Shetima. And I'm talking about the case we made.
Yeah.
And then due to the drug trafficking offense by
the alleged drug trafficking
United Nations. No, they admitted it. It's not alleged. Their argument is that there was no criminal proceeding against him, that it was civil forfeiture.
Okay.
And then we are saying that forfeiture is a fine, it's a punishment, and it is forfeiture based on crime, drug trafficking and money laundering, and that there are cases to show that forfeiture is forfeiture, whether in a civil proceeding or criminal proceeding. I'm just trying to tell you what
in summary, yes. I don't want us to go deep into
yes, I'm not, it is left for the judges. We say that you have to win 25% in the FCT to be declared. Because the Constitution said 1/4, as in you must have 25% into third of the states and FCT. So we are saying that FCT, by that word and, that you must have 25% in it. They are saying no, that FCT should be treated as one of the states. Then we are talking, that's where we're talking about non-nomination as in invalid nomination.
Exactly.
Good. So there is another angle to it. Another angle is that the placeholder that was there before Shetima resigned.
That's Masaria.
Good. He withdrew and was not replaced until 21 days.
Okay. Which is against...
And the law is that you must replace within 14 days. That is the argument of the APM. Which is very potent. Because once you are outside the nomination, they are arguing that is now an invalid nomination. So, and when we talked about non-compliance with the Electoral Act,
quite a number of points.
good.
Okay, in a word or two, I want to hear from you.
The Electoral Act is very clear about electronic transmission of results.
Exactly.
Which INEC agreed they did not do it at the right time.
Okay, for the fact that we have run out of time,
all right.
Do you think justice will prevail? Just in a word or two.
It's only God that can answer that question.
Wow, that's big.
Because in everything you do in Nigeria, even as apparent as it is, you still need to go to church and mosque
to pray,
to ask for the grace of God.
All right, thank you very much. Kenneth Okonkwo, spokesperson of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council and one of the councillors, Peter Obi, and the party at the Election Petition Tribunal for coming to the program. We thank you for your informed perspective and we hope to have you again.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for tuning in for today's program. We sincerely hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. Let's do this again, same time tomorrow. And be sure to join Daily Politics Live, airing every weekday. Once again, we thank you for watching and we look forward to having you join us again. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.